Hey guys, it's Mitch. How's it going? We're back for another spooky season special, and we're back for more Garth Ennis. I've got a few of those, which means we're back for more of just how messed up the human race is, because that's how Garth Ennis writes his horror comics. This is A Walk Through Hell by Garth Ennis and Goran Sudzuka. So this is a 2018 release by Aftershock, which makes it one of the more recent releases by Garth Ennis. He hasn't been writing a ton over the last few years, as far as I can tell, at least not for comics. It feels now like every couple of years he comes up with something, but for the most part, he seems to be, I think he's sitting on that boy's money and going, okay, I think I'm good. But yeah, this is something he decided to put out through one of the smaller presses, which is mostly how Garth Ennis rolls these days. I don't think he has any kind of appetite for working on, a Marvel or DC book, like a pre-existing book. And he's got a big enough name by himself. I guess he doesn't really need Marvel or DC to attract buyers to him, particularly since, the only people who go and buy Marvel and DC are those who are going to comic shops anyway. Those people are going to know who Garth Ennis is, and they're just going to, find out online what Garth Ennis has done most recently, and then just go buy that. It's not like there's a newsstand to lure the kids in anymore. Man, that doesn't sound great at all. Anyway, what A Walk Through Hell is. So this is a story, it's kind of a police procedural, actually. And this volume is kind of falling apart. This just happened now when I was looking through it. I don't know if this is an Aftershock thing, but the glue seems to have completely kind of given up the ghost here. Oh well. So we start out with our protagonists here. We've got Shaw and we've got McGregor, who are FBI agents. These days they get pretty routine assignments because recently they had maybe the nastiest assignment they've ever heard of. And we're going to get the details on that assignment throughout the course of the story. Garth Ennis is very good at juggling timelines. So there's a lot of going along on the current timeline, and then we flash back in a way that makes sense in the narrative, and then flash forward again. But McGregor and Shaw are following up on a couple of fellow agents who have gone missing inside of a warehouse. Like, the warehouse is there at the docks, the agents go in, they don't come out, and nobody's sure exactly what happened. There is a SWAT team on site who did go in and come out and now refuse to talk about anything. And right at the beginning of the book, this is all in the first issue, they all decide to blow each other's brains out. Of course, they decide to do that after McGregor and Shaw go inside the warehouse. So all we know is that whatever is in there is so bad that the SWAT guys couldn't stick around to deal with it or see how this was going to play out. And it's a very good story. It's unpleasant. It starts out, I like the back of the book here because this actually gives you the line. It's like these two FBI agents walk into a warehouse. That's the concept. Anyway, inside the warehouse, they quickly find out that everything is just wrong. Like, the geography of the place ends up being wrong in that they keep wandering around it, and it feels like it's never ending. Right at the beginning of the second issue, they find out they can't find their pulses, so they appear to be dead. And given that the title of the comic is A Walk Through Hell, you kind of get where that's going. The warehouse becomes more like a twisted funhouse ride. They see more and more just like very personally affecting horrors for these characters. It's like the worst moments in their life come back on them. And over the course of the story, they're FBI agents. They're going to keep investigating. They find out why they're there. They find out who's behind it. They find out what he's got planned. And it's all pretty much end of the world stuff. So we're talking about evil as a force, walking on the earth, doing horrible shit, and how the evil that men do goes on and on. Sorry, I got caught up in that. But how the evil that humans are capable of kind of feeds into that, at least in this storyline. Like I've said before, it's all fueled by Garth Ennis's particularly bleak outlook on humanity based on what we do to each other, essentially. Or at least the worst things we do to each other. So it's a well-crafted narrative that's extremely bleak, as you would expect. Is it one of Garth Ennis's more memorable projects? I gotta say, probably not. And part of that is probably due to the art. Honestly, at least for me. This is a very 2018 looking comic. It's all digital. It's all extremely competent. There is no style whatsoever. It looks like every other comic I've ever seen that was made digitally, it feels like. So everything is drawn extremely competently. There is nothing really throughout the course of the book, I would say, that is done awkwardly. There's also nothing over the course of the book that looks particularly interesting. This is documentary style for the most part. Dude got a script that said, okay, this guy is in this place and he's got this expression, he's thinking these things, and he's like, okay, That's exactly what I'm going to draw and nothing else. So I'm not a fan of that. But the story itself is good enough. I think it's worth checking out. I mean, when you finish reading it, you're kind of stuck just going, all right, Garth. And then you got to go like help out at a soup kitchen or something to make yourself feel better. But yeah, decent story. Not one of Garth's more memorable characters, which is a shame. I mean, the main character is Shaw. She's not very over the top. She's a tough, competent FBI agent, which I feel like we've seen before. You know, she's believable, and she has like a little bit of a personality. She's kind of snarky, but, you know, she's very like world-weary. She's got her little buddy McGregor here, who thinks he's going to make a difference and is very hyped on his own potential for changing the world. And eventually he's going to get a little bit of a wake-up call about that, but, you know, that's okay. But yeah, if I was, you know, if you're going to go with like, what's the rating on this out of 10? You know, like 6 or 7. It's pretty good. You won't get too wowed by anything. There's a couple of oh shit moments in terms of just like the nastiness that the antagonist pulls off or has pulled off in the past in like flashbacks. And it's like, you know, you got to wash the taste of that out of your mouth. But yeah, overall, pretty good. There is better Garth Ennis stuff out there. Like a fair bit. But that said, it's not like it's a waste of your money or anything. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. I honestly don't know what else I'm going to talk about. This might be my last spooky season special. So if I put out another one, hey, bonus content. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.